Greetings, everyone. This is me again, Zara Berserk. Uh, I'm more interested in how Islam spread in the end because of the violent verses in Surah Tawbah, Surah Hashr, and all. So I'm just going to pause myself here and put the sound booster on so you can hear me more clearly. Thank you for waiting and thank you for being here. Yes, and sorry to keep you waiting. Now I'm back. So here I am, most interested in this whether, oh, this is okay, whether Islam spread by force coercion in the end, in its last days, or by, so any coercion used for me as a Shia, when I was a Shia, I would not accept it in any way. Under no circumstances, even if this religion was a true religion and the ayats were true. But then a true religion doesn't do this. So again, I don't know how to say this, how to put it. I don't think this is then a true religion. If it's spread by force in any way, I think that anyways, there is an ayat which says he is ardently desirous of your welfare. It grieves him to see you fall in trouble in the Quran. So we'll have a look at that if I don't forget that verse in the Quran and see how ardently desirous he was, like a friend uh, who cares, like a mother who cares for her child. And sometimes she needs to apply force if you are committing suicide, and she's seen the reality that if you, like a child, you know, um, or you just from the steps, if you're crawling and she will run towards you and stop you by force, little, pick you up like that. So did he do it like this, Prophet Muhammad, because he cares for you so much? So that also I wanted to know about my religion as a Shia, how far, and so that's how far can he go. God allows him to go by killing people, and they say leaving this religion, it will only cause you your ruin, your destruction, the hereafter. But by killing an apostate, what do? You make him a martyr, and then by killing him, does it mean that our souls will go to heaven? Sorry, excuse me. Another thing was that I was watching this movie, and I remember now that the Christians say, the ones who are critics of Islam, that the sun, Muhammad thought the sun goes around, or Muhammad's Allah thought that the sun goes around the earth. But in Surah Yasin it says the sun runs on a course prescribed for it. So it means that the sun does rotate, and there is evidence here from science, NASA, government, the sun rotates on its axis once in about 27 days. So Surah Yasin ayat doesn't say that the sun rotates around the earth. It says that the sun runs on a course prescribed for it. Mukesh is here. Hello, Mukesh, brother. Welcome. Thank you for greeting me. Sister, Allah did not make water. Mukesh, no, I didn't. Allah made everything, didn't He? Really? How is it that if you have evidence, I will take it? So if you can provide me with evidence. But Mukesh, please remember, we are not here to show off our knowledge, like how many ayats are there in the Quran and how many hadiths are there. We are here humbly trying to search for the truth. So I don't know many things. You can let me know after I finish with this. Mukesh says, at the time of making earth, he was sitting on water. His throne was on water. So was he sitting on water, or was his throne on water? Please be careful, because there are people who get carried away and try to, distort the Quran ayats to no end, exaggerating and all this. So we don't want to. I don't want to do that here, right? Things I don't know about, like from the Sunni hadiths have come, and also I wanted to see if the Umayyads were right, or just read the Umayyad side where from, because the Shias have done their research and they feel it's not a propaganda like Salahuddin said last time against the Sahabas. There were some Sahabas who were hypocrites, and we can see in Surah Al Imran, verse 167, and we can see in another verse against Abu Bakr in Surah Nur, and a group from among you who spread rumors, slandering Aisha. Tariq Fateh said so. Oh, okay. Tariq Fateh, sorry. I have not looked at that. If even the Christians say so, I cannot pick up everything the Christians say and agree to them. Right? The Islam, critics of Islam. Sorry, my voice goes, my tone is like this. I'm very hyper, like madness. I want to be soft and gentle. So it doesn't mean, Mukesh, that I'm shouting at you or something. It's just that when I have to talk, I'm struggling with myself. But at times I do get angry because I'm hurt and upset. So I'm sorry if Tariq, sorry, I don't know. I know Tariq Fateh, can't even pronounce his name properly. Tariq Fateh. What he said, please, can you remain on the topic here? I'm not here to show off my knowledge against the Christians or the, for Muslims. Okay? I don't even know the hadiths by the way the Christians remember the hadiths and all. I'm really bad at that, so please cooperate and stay on the topic, which I am talking about and I'm leading to. Otherwise, very easily I forget and then it goes into this. Already it is very, very difficult to seep out, to see whether Muhammad had enemies. Why did Muhammad have enemies? Why did the wives do this to Muhammad, annoy him? And was it, or was it because they had to tell us, were they telling us something else apart from what the Sunnis believe they were doing? In Surah Tahrim, even taking the Sunni tafsirs of those verses. Right? So this is what we are here for. Now, it came out about the sun. I was wondering, as I have seen a movie recently and I have a documentary on Islam Exposed. They give Surah Yasin ayat as the sun The sun runs on a course prescribed for it. The sun runs on a course prescribed. So you see, I am unbiased, completely, I don't get carried away, sorry. The sun runs on course towards its stopping point. Or there are many translations. The one I had was that, let me see if I can find it. It's Surah 30, Surah 36, ayat, what's this? Where's Quran.com? So I can, 38. So this does not mean the sun runs on a around the planet Earth. And Zakir Naik also said so. Okay, I don't know. I don't listen to Zakir Naik. He wasn't, but like I don't listen to him. I do my own research. I don't even listen. I mean, I listen to everyone. Now I've done my own. I do my own research. Sorry, I don't believe in what Zakir Naik is saying or what Tariq Fatah is saying. So I apologize for that, right? I have to do my own research with due respect to Dr. Zakir Naik and Tariq Fateh, Mukesh brother. Surah Yasin, ayat 38, I think it is. The sun is running its course to its appointed place. Again, repeating myself. Quran.com, let's see the Quran verse translation in word by word in English. And the sun runs to a term appointed for it. That is the decree. So in this, I hate to, no, but I have to admit, even if that the Christian the critics of Islam are wrong, because the sun runs on its on a term on. Wait a minute, where's my translation of old? The sun runs on a course prescribed for it, but they may eat of its fruit. Oh, it's come to 35. 38. The sun runs on a course towards a stopping point, a term appointed for it. The sun runs to a repository for it. So it runs it in its own orbit, something like this, right? Like the earth, but not around the earth. And the moon we have determined for its phases until it returns like the old date stock. Anyways, so this, see, about 7 sky. What about 1 sky every night, first sky? Is that, now, are you bringing, Mukesh, brother, I think you're bringing in hadiths. Or is this from an ayat? Sorry. Can you stick to the topic, brother? Please, I appeal to you, request you. I will look at this later on. And let's keep this live stream for just 1 hour. I can't give 3 hours to Salahuddin and then, you know, they stick to their own rules. So what are the rules when we have a book from this Allah, we say, but given to Muhammad in his heart by the trusted spirit as a revelation? How Salahuddin has come. Well-wishers, is God has human organs? No, they say, the Muslims say that well-wishers, the Muslims say that it is metaphorical. Even Shia say that when he says to Iblis that what made you not bow to Adam, which whom I made with my 2 hands, means might and power or something like that. The 2 hands of God are not should not be literally taken, they say. So I rule out, because you see, the Muslims will not be convinced like this, and neither will I. Shin may mean in the end when the shin will be laid bare. It does not mean that God's shin will be laid bare. It means that it is a metaphorical, they say. On the other side, we have this debatable thing. Salahuddin says, read it. It is a beautiful surah. You will not benefit by picking and choosing. Salahuddin, again, brother, I will not read it as a beautiful surah because the truth is far away from this Quran and it has some deadly, ugly. Where is the beauty in the punishments meted out in gory, can I say gory? Uh, those horrible punishments. It is far from beautiful. There are verses which are far, far from being beautiful. Scalding water, intestines torn apart. Mukesh, Salahuddin, if you have come here again and I want my live stream, I'm sorry, I'm not going to stick here with you anymore. My time is precious, right? So if you don't want to go by the rules of the Quran and you want to deceive us, no, not in this surah. No, I don't. It's Surah Yasin is, sorry, Salahuddin. But in other surahs, yes, right? And there are, in Surah Tawbah, you don't even want to accept it. Violent verses in the end. And what about breast suckling in your hadith? So you blamed Shias also for propaganda. What about your ridiculous hadiths? Just go and see this movie. It is from your hadith and how the Christians remember, right? Let me show you. This Islam false religion exposed. Makkah, Godzilla. Well-wisher says, why Hindu people worship cartoons? At least they don't kill people, well-wishers. They don't force their religion on others, their dharma, their sanatan, their truth on others, their books on others. Right, well-wishers? And who said they worship cartoons? Hmm? And Salahuddin, stick to the ugly, also give me the ugly surahs, right, against the polytheists, the Jews, the Christians, and about hell punishments, and the beauty you want to see how heaven has voluptuous breasts, women or girls with voluptuous breasts. Heaven is a brothel. And in your hadith it says that the man's will always be up. And in your hadith it says, Salahuddin, in this movie, see this documentary on Islam, hadiths are given like I cannot remember. Well-wisher says, why Hindu people worship cartoons? A well-wisher says, but cartoons never could be someone's god. But where do Hindus worship cartoons? Give me evidence. Where do Hindus worship cartoons? Are you Christian putting Hindus down now? Please don't bring in against other religions here. You will be timed out. Hindus worship a blade of grass even. Glory be to God. So, there are pantheists also in Hinduism. Who said Hindus worship cartoons? Now, this is not about what Hindus worship, this live stream of mine, so please don't waste my time here. Because Hindu don't want to follow or worship Dracula or rapist. Mukesh says, well-wishers say, I do believe in God, but I think he has no human organ, and he's not a cartoon. He's something that we can't imagine by creatures. Whatever he is, we can't imagine. Well-wishers, then that's too bad. You don't even have evidence for him. Why can't God? Have you ever read that book? God of Smaller Things by Indian, I think. British Indian. Salahuddin says, why you pick on negativity that is damaging to anyone's... Why did Muhammad pick on the negativity of the polytheists? Why did he pick on hypocrites, killing them? Surah Azab verses 60 to 62. God's way. Massacre them. Why did he pick on the negativity of the polytheists and the Jews of Yathrib? I'm not doing it. I'm not picking it. But I'm picking up what the Quran is saying. The negativity the Quran has. Am I saying I'm picking up damaging others? What he damaged houses of Yathrib people. He killed the polytheists. They kept the treaty. Those who kept the treaty even. So the negativity is not coming from me. The negativity is coming from your own Quran verses, Saladin. I searched their gods on Google, well-wisher says. Well-wishers. I searched their gods on Google and see lots of cartoons. That's why I say that. What's wrong? Even cartoons? Are they cartoons? They may be cartoons for you, right? For the asuras, for evil people like you, they may be cartoons. For judgmental people like you. Maybe you need to get your mind straight. Sorry to put it that way. Right? Did they say we worship cartoons, or do you say with your own dirty mind, with your own little low mind, that they worship cartoons? It's your bad thought. Child, worse than children. Children have an imagination. You don't even have that. You just want to be a dry adult who uses reason and ignores the emotions of people. Seems like that. So children play with dolls and all. Little girls, boys play with other things. So your ego, adult ego, is saying that they worship cartoons. Yes, I will say this because you cannot put Hindus down here on my live stream. Well-wishers say, oh, thanks. Yes, you're welcome. It's a great pleasure to show you that you're coming from your ego and your mind only. Salahuddin says, even if it is the Quran, the Muslim barely read it. The surahs they're encouraged to read regularly is surah like Al-Kahf and Yasin. Yes, okay. No, we're allowed, we're not encouraged to, okay, Yasin, yes, but I don't know about Al-Kahf, right? But we're supposed to read the whole Quran. When this is about research, truth finding, and seeping through, this is Muslims, I don't know what they are asked, what other Muslims are asked to do. But as Muslims, we were told, Yasin is good for this. Read Yasin, and Surah Kahf is I don't know what it is good for. I never heard of that. I read to understand, not to just read it for my benefit. You see, in Surah Kaf, there was a Khizr, old a man with ilme laduni. He killed a boy out of fear that Allah had told him that he would become a disbeliever later on. Why kill a boy? Why not bless him when Allah has the power to bless? Well-wisher says, why Muslims believe in Jesus? Because the Quran says so, to believe in Jesus. Because they believe in all the prophets, monotheistic prophets, well-wishers. Unfortunately, those Muslims who barely read it, what can I say about them? But I'm doing my research here, right? And seeping through as it is very hard for me to show, because this Quran has come from one side, and if it has violent verses and forcefully converting people, coercion, Surah Tawbah, against Ahl Kitab, Jews and Christians, until they pay the jizya. Because then it's debatable, right? Why they have to pay the jizya? Because we were told that the men then would not, these Jews and Christians would not have to join the military, army, Muslim army. That's why they were asked to pay the jizya. But we can come to terms with them in a more amicable, peaceful, civilized manner than to say, like in Surah Tawbah, fight them, right? Surah Tawbah at 29, I think. A well-wisher says, lots of my Muslim friends say they are more Christians than ours. What is the actual thing? I don't know. You'll have to ask those Christians what's the actual thing. Lots of my Muslim friends say they are aja. You'll have to ask those Muslims why they do this, Christian than others. Since well-wisher is here, Mukesh is here, Saladin is here, and all have deviated from the topic, I guess I'll have to make it a question and an answer live stream now. Well-wishers, lots of my Muslim friends say they are more Christian than others. What is the actual thing? Christian? No. Would a Muslim say that, or would a Muslim say, I've stayed a Muslim because I've submitted to Allah's will, and Jesus is more Muslim than Christian? Jesus was never a Christian. Jesus was a Muslim, they would say. So, well-wishers, you know very well, right? The Quran ayahs. Even Abraham was a Muslim. So then, Surah, here I retreated from my Shias also reading this ayah, that force should not be applied, even if it is that the Christians, Jews, they should pay willingly. Oh God. Surah Tawbah. And they should be allowed to practice their religion as they were allowed to do before Islam came. And later on in the end days, this is one of the ending surahs, right? In the time of Prophet Muhammad. Those who do not believe in Allah and the last day, even though they were given the scriptures, and who do not hold as unlawful that which Allah and His Messenger have declared to be unlawful, and who do not follow the true religion, fight against them until they pay tribute out of their hand. This is a force applied. So calling out to Shias that I've retreated from your reasoning also. Forget the Sunnis or the Quran only. Fight against those who do not believe in Allah or in the last day, and who do not consider unlawful what Allah and His Messenger have made unlawful. This part I can jump to Surah Tahrim again. Oh, well-wisher says, well-wisher says, thanks. You're most welcome, well-wisher. Please remember not to put the Hindus down here. This stream is not, even in the live chat, right, to put any religion down. You can say the Hindus say that this verse means in the Quran ayat, like you can say the Christians say that this verse, like I explained about Surah Yasin ayat 38, the sun running on a course prescribed for it. But putting the Hindus down, generally with your mind, the way you see Hinduism, and putting them down like that, just like that, it won't do. I will not allow that. So please, well-wishers, I request you that not to do that again here. Okay, you can tell me what the Christians, Hindus say against Islam and whether that is right. We can check the Quran ayats here and find out. As much as I have knowledge, I can look at it from all sides. We can help each other like that. It's friendly, it's helpful, using reason, using Quran rules. Like that we can go, and I wish to go like that. And that is my plan from the very beginning. Here. Thank you so much. Okay, now we have this. The Shias give their reason, but when the messenger himself had to prohibit himself what Allah had made lawful for him, how can he be declaring what is lawful in any condition? You see, he was given a condition against his wives. He was pleasing his wives rather than Allah. And under no circumstance can a prophet do that, pleasing his wives other than Allah. It would be other than Allah, it would be doing shirk. A prophet cannot do that. He's addressed in Surah Tahrim, ayat 1, as O prophet, as prophet. So when with Allah, he himself has to declare what is unlawful, okay, then he should come in his life, in his acts, to whatever Allah has made unlawful, to practice that in his life. And not make excuses why he practiced that even Allah has to question him. Oh, of course, there were Lut, maybe, as in the scriptures, Lut's wife and all this. And Nuh's wife, or whose wife? Surah Tahrim ayat, bad wives of the Prophet. But that's another thing. You don't go pleasing your wives, breaking a law of Allah. When you tell the believers to be steadfast, and you're telling the Ahl Kitab, and who do not consider unlawful what Allah and His Messenger have made unlawful, then put an exception here for them, unless you are in duress or your wives start to harass you. So the Shias even give reasons like, oh, because it was like this, because the Christians and, Jews and Christians were not allowed to, they were exempt from military right? Army, Muslim army. They were exempt. Asha Churoria is here, YouTube channel and Facebook social media, Islam finish in the world. Yes, I hope so, Asha Churoria, for the betterment and for our free mind thinkers, that we can depart from, leave Islam and not worry about or criticize it justifiably, and not worry about being killed by Muslims or our Shia organizations and marjas, and be women be in prison, and beaten or something like that, and tortured. So I'm trying to get the Shias also out of this kind of thing, torturing people, using force when they have used their reason to see. You see, Surah Yunus ayat 100. Use your reason, otherwise God would put abomination on you. Now the Shias go very far debating, putting in reasons why they were they were exempt from the military and why they were asked to pay the jizya, Muslim military army. But they don't see this. They falter in seeing that you also should see the other side and try to defend them with a reason. So applying force here, fight against those, forcefully getting jizya out of them is not humane, right? In the first instance, this ayat fails. It tells us to put violence until they pay the jizya. Who are you? You will go to Najran Christians and say, give us jizya. We will fight you. You will go to the Ethiopian Christians and say, we will fight you until you pay the jizya. Is this your land? Can they not practice their religion? Who do not consider unlawful what Allah and His Messenger have made unlawful, and who do not adopt the religion of truth. You see, now it's boiling down to becoming Muslims, believers, from those who were given the scripture. Fight until they until they give the jizya. You are willingly while they are humbled. First of all, they are unwillingly because you've used force on them, so it cannot be willingly. The Quran has a mistake here. Ayat has a mistake. You cannot willingly, they cannot willingly pay, because under duress, the law of duress says that when you are forced to do something, you are under duress, your will is arrested. So how can you say these people are paying the jizya, the Jews and the Christians, willingly? And it says willingly. Let me just take my mic off. An. Yadin. So there's a mistake in the Quran ayat. Sudesh Yadav says ex-Muslim. Hello Sudesh Yadav, welcome here. Sorry, I cannot read Devanagari Sanskrit, Hindi. So can you please not write in Hindi and write in English? I don't understand what you have written here. And can you please cooperate? As it is, it's very hard, difficult for me, because this book has come from one side, and there is force, coercion in the end times of Islam. Why? So this is what is interesting for me to see. It is my passion that no force should have been applied to force them either to become Muslims or to pay the jizya. Right? So this, even the Shia commentary reasoning is faulty. Force applied here, Shias. Either they become Muslim believers, the Ahl Kitab, or they pay the jizya forcefully. And please look at this. There's a mistake in this ayat. I've studied British law, LLB honors degree, right? I got from London, University of Wolverhampton. Even a child, even a child can see this, even if I didn't study law. That cannot a child see this when you're forcing someone, fighting them? Your will is not involved here. Why would you want to apply force? Is this channel for just Muslims? Yes, it is for Muslims to come here and question me. And look at this. I'm an ex-Muslim. So, yes, well wishers, this channel is for just Muslims to come here. And if I say anything about Christianity because the Christians criticized and were wrong, I can correct them, and the Hindus too. But it is mostly for Muslims. So here, and another thing is the Shia say. I've read the Shia commentary on this ayat. You see, they say, I was like, oh God, please help me. Where does it say that not to kill those who leave their religion? Now again, some stern thing comes up here in Surah Maida, ayat 54. O you who have believed, whoever of you should revert from his religion, Allah will bring forth in place of them, meaning a people he will love and who will love him, who are humble toward the believers, strong against the disbelievers, again strong or stern against the disbelievers. They strive in the cause of Allah and do not fear the blame of a critic. That is the favor of Allah. He bestows it upon whom He wills, and Allah is all encompassing and knowing. Why you guys terrorize in the whole world? Well, wishers, this is the thing, and people can even use Muslims to terrorize the world. So we need to stop this, right? That's why. Also, a good thing that I'm doing this. And there are other ex-Muslims who are doing this. I'm an ex-Muslim, by the way, and Shias have not terrorized the world. The Sunni extremists have, Muslims. So who are you asking this question to? Make your own channel. Go there. I'm an ex-Muslim. I'm doing this against Islam. But I won't get carried away. If there's a ayat I make a mistake in, I will point out my mistake and correct myself. I cannot say the sun runs on a course around the planet Earth, but what the ayat says. So sorry. Okay, so this, sorry I had to put something in my mouth. So I'm going to now leave this and I will go to multilingual Quran. Where is it? If I haven't saved it here. And you see what the Shia say about this. Also, this ayat, Surah Maida, ayat 54. Oh, sorry, I have to go to multilingual. And also, why do you Muslims kill when they leave this religion? When a Muslim leaves his religion, why do you kill them? Do you think by force you can, or by killing them, you will, uh, make this world a better place? Or send them to heaven? So now here, going to verse 54 and the commentary, Shia commentary. Not only Prophet Muhammad, but he used Ali to do his dirty work and kill people. This is such a terrible religion. And then even Abu Bakr in while he was a caliph, he tried to conquer lands and kill people for Islam. 54. Okay, here it is. O you who believe, if any from among you turn back from his faith, soon will Allah produce a people whom he will love, as they will love him. Lowly with the believers, mighty against the rejectors. Right? Fighting in the way of Allah, and never afraid of the reproaches of such as find fault. I tell you this, shaitan. So this is a very soft, it may seem, ayat against us infidels, apostates. But wait a minute. It just doesn't stop at that Allah will produce a people whom He will love as they will love Him. But what does that ayat say? If you love me, follow. If you love Allah, follow me. So, okay, back again. They will love Him. Lowly with the believers. It goes on. Lowly with the believers, mighty against the rejectors. So Shia's Imam Ali is coming after me. And Imam Mahdi. I will be killed. Do you realize this? Or a marja. Which country I am in. There are Shia marjas, even in the United States. England. Right? Force again applied. Killing or fighting in the way of Allah. Never afraid of the reproaches of such. You haven't used reason. Come, Imam Ali, use reason. I will show you the contradictions in these Quran ayats. Come, all you 12 Imams here. This is what I want. Now, did I read the whole ayat? Okay, I read it previously. Now, what is important here, the commentary, a Puya Ali commentary under this ayat, Surah Maida ayat 54. A careful study of verses 54 and 55 indicates that they have no relation with the preceding verses. prohibiting friendship with infidels. The subject matter of verse 54 is quite different. It is in praise of Ali about his nomination to political and religious leadership. And wherein the renegades, like us, have been warned of his might and valor and frightened of his great overwhelming influence. You see, all they can do is overwhelmingly influence us, take their swords out, punish us, kill us, be stern against us. Not supply us with amnesty, not cooperate with us. This is jahalat, ignorance. The time of ignorance has come back, or it is from this religion, force, violent ways, punishment strict, strong. The Holy Prophet said, the resolute cooperation among the Quraysh will not dissipate unless Allah appoints over you a man whose heart Allah has tested through severe trial of faith. He will strike your necks, and you will be as afraid of him as frightened sheep. Since they're going against this religion, they don't want to become Muslims. They're called renegades, or those who leave this religion, their faith. Now, what is this? The resolute cooperation among the Quraysh will not dissipate. They were trying to stop this religion from spreading like it wanted to spread. In the end, we can see in Surah Tawbah, killing the polytheists. Why should they not defend their temples, their religion? You can, they can't. Muslims, now this is against those who leave their religion, this religion. Imam Ali will strike your necks, and you will be as afraid of him as frightened sheep. Even in Shia Islam, there's violence against those who leave this religion. Whereupon Abu Bakr inquired if he was that man, and Omar inquired if he was that man. The Holy Prophet replied, no, but the person who is mending shoes inside the room is that man. And Ali turned up with shoes in his hand, which he was repairing for the Holy Prophet. Many traditionists have recorded it with slight variations. Ahmad ibn Hanbal in his Musnad, Hakim. This is now the Sunni variation, Sunni traditions. Hakim in his Mustadrak, Abu Yalla in his Musnad, and Muttaqi in his Kunzul Umal. I don't know. Part of it, I think Hanbal, Ahmad ibn Hanbal is Hanbali from the Sunni Shia. So thus we have the Hanbali sect, school of thought. I don't know about these others. Kunzul Umal, Muttaqi, I don't know. It is a warning about Ali's might, as explained by himself on the day of the Battle of Jamal. The what is this? The Labi has mentioned, it's cut here, I can't go till the end, on the right hand, has mentioned in his tafsir and compiler of Majma' al-Bayan, has produced it as related by Amr, Hudayfa, and Ibn Abbas. This becomes clearer when we notice the fact that verse 55, Innama waliyukum, follows this verse. So now they have to say this, that this means that Ali will do this work. So not all Muslims, anyways, it's good that not all Muslims can do it, but Ali, Imams can kill. We don't agree to this interpretation. It is a Shia exclusive. Salahuddin, I know about this, right? So that's, I'm talking about the Shia interpretation for the Shias. I'm talking to Shias. Why do you always feel I'm talking to you? So anyways, but Salahuddin says the Muslims, this is a Shia commentary. The Shias accept this. Salahuddin, do you know who I'm speaking to right now? And what about? Do you accept the breastfeeding of adult men? It may go against the Quran ayat. Non-mahrams are not allowed to see, right? But the ayat, but the hadith is there. Aisha herself said, there's a hadith from Aisha about breastfeeding. What the hell is that? Utter disappointment. So here the Shias, it is in your hadith. Aisha said, what is it? Breastfeeding. Breastfeeding a na-mahram. To make him mahram. Here, it's in your hadith. This is the hell. The book of suckling, Sahih Muslim 1453a. Aisha, Allah be pleased with her, reported that Sahla bint Suhail came to Allah's apostle and said, Messenger of Allah, I see on the face of Abu Hudayfa signs of disgust on entering of Salim, who is an ally into our house. Whereupon, Allah's apostle said, suckle him. She said, how can I suckle him as he is a grown-up man? He's a grown-up man. Right? Salahuddin, this is from your Ahle Hadith you said previously when you came here. You said you know your Hadith by the letter, and now you're asking me what the hell is that? You don't know your, this means you have been lying. You know you are Ahle Hadith, right? And you know it by the letter. This is what the hell it is in your Hadith. Sorry to put it that way, because you asked me, what the hell is that? What is this? Yes. Can I ask you what this is? Because I'm not even as a Shia, I would ask you, what is this? Said, suckle him. Grown-up man. She said, how can I suckle him as he is a grown-up man? Allah's messenger smiled and said, I already know that he is a young man. What a twisted man he is, a prophet. Amr has made this addition in his narration that he participated in the Battle of Badr, and in the narration of Ibn Umar, the words are, Allah's messenger laughed. Sahih Muslim 1453a, book 17, hadith 33. Grade is not given, but what in the world is this? Breastfeeding an Adult, Chapter 7. Do you see this? God knows where Salahuddin is quiet now, where he went. How many hours it's been? I just want to take an hour now and take a break. Started 1 hour ago. I think this is enough. The Sunnis don't, the Shias reject this. Like you said. What did you say here? We don't agree to this interpretation. It is Shia exclusive. Shias don't agree to this interpretation, hadith. Oh, sorry, it's not an interpretation, but this is a hadith from the Sunnis. Aisha al Mu'mineen narrated, reported. Shias don't accept this hadith. Okay, 1 hour has gone and I just have gotten up, had tea, let me see, and I'm going to take a break. I have to, last part of my tea, cold. I have to have my anti-stress herbal pill. Take something now, take some rest. I'm too exhausted to even eat. Any questions about this? No questions? So this is a religion of force. In the end, we see in the Quran ayats, ending surahs, which I will never ever accept. Violence cannot be used to impose your religion on others. This is satanic. And I will come in other words telling you all the time, live stream. Sunni Shia. Violence should not be applied. People should have free thought to think what they want to think, as long as they don't encroach upon the rights of others, the thoughts of others. Right? Thank you so much, all of you. Hope to see you again. God bless you all and keep you out of this religion. Ridiculous.